and it's a pleasure to be with you and to speak about Saudi Arabia's green policy and opportunities for Korean SMEs, small and medium entrepreneurs. First of all, I'll show you the presentation, which is divided into 3 parts. First part is speaking about the green policy. Second part, I'll be speaking about why to invest in Saudi Arabia. And third part, I'll be speaking about the crucial role of Ministry of Investment, MISA, the new ministry that came. So first of all, as we can see in this slide, we can see from 2016 till 2060, the objectives that Saudi Arabia has set. We can see that in 2016, we see the launch of King Salman Renewable Energy Initiative. A year later, we see the announcement of the National Renewable Energy Program. And we can see a year later also the launch of the Natural Energy Strategy. We can see in 2019, the creation of special forces for environmental security. 2020, we took a step towards launching a campaign called Let's Make It Green, which was to reduce the certification. And in 2021, we had 2 key events that took place, which were the Saudi Green Summit and the Middle East Summit, which were accompanied by the Youth Green Summit. We have 2 objectives, one objective being in 2030, another objective being in 2060. 2030, we are nationally determined to contribute reducing national carbon emissions by more than 278 MTPA. And we aimed by 2060 to achieve the carbon neutrality. We can see that with the launch of the Saudi Green Initiative, the Kingdom has reaffirmed its belief in a sustainable future for all. The first wave, we have more than 60 initiatives announced under the Saudi Green Initiative, the SGI, and it was revealed in October 2021, representing more than 700 billion Saudi riyals to invest and to contribute towards green energy. And also, as we can see with the 3 objectives, that Saudi Arabia is playing a key role in global efforts. Since the launch of the Vision 2030 in 2016, Saudi Arabia has taken significant steps to scale up its climate action and environmental protection. We can see also now efforts are being taken to the next level by unifying all sustainable efforts in the Kingdom to increase reliance on clean energy and the impact, and to offset the impact of fossil fuels and combat climate change. We can see that the SGI took place under the theme of Oasis and Alive, which was the idea of climate change, the ecosystem to achieve the ambitious national targets. And this framework underpinned all content at the inaugural SGI forum. This conveyed an important message: the oasis, which is our natural environment, needs to be alive and therefore to be sustained for humanity to thrive. Just as the Kingdom underpinned energy markets during the oil and gas era, it is working to lead the way to a more sustainable world. The Kingdom has many environmental and clean energy initiatives in the pipeline to achieve these 3 targets. The Kingdom is pursuing additional initiatives that indirectly contribute to SGI's targets and wider goals as a part of its all-society approach to climate change. And we have wide-reaching sustainable practices. We can see investment in research and development, and we can see environmental awareness that will be both crucial to achieve the national goals. The SGI brings together environmental protection, energy transformation, sustainable programs to work towards these, to achieve these 3 overarching targets for a goal of a greener future. We can see that there's two tiers. The three pillars at the bottom, we can see they define the Middle East, the MGI's strategy, environmental aims. We also see that there's aims for new centers, programs, and initiatives. Of the objectives are for Saudi Arabia to be a regional hub for climate change, to initiate a regional center for early storm warning, a regional center for sustainable development of fisheries, a regional cloud seeding program, and cleaning plastics from oceans. We can see that the Middle East Green Initiative Summit that took place on the 25th of October served to achieve these three objectives, which are to create a first of its kind regional alliance, and to provide an intersection of knowledge and capital, and to provide a stage for climate diplomacy. Also, accompanying the two summits that took place, the Saudi Green Initiative and also the Middle East Green Initiative, there was also a Youth Green Summit that took place, which aimed to equip young leaders in the region, in Saudi and beyond, with the knowledge and skills necessary to ensure a more sustainable future. During that summit, we saw 3 workshops took place and also 4 plenary sessions. Now I'll be shifting towards more of the economic factors, why the investment should take place in Saudi Arabia, and also the role of MISA. We can see in Saudi Arabia, you have these figures in front of you, these 6 figures, but Saudi Arabia holds exciting potential and opportunity for investors. It's a G20 economy with young and highly educated population of more than 30 million, a strategic location between 3 continents, and at the heart of major trade roads crossing 3 continents with ample natural resources. Saudi Arabia defined its priority sectors and introduced an exclusive strategy for delivering growth through investment. Therefore, the business sector in Saudi Arabia has opened and transformed, and this is reflected as Saudi Arabia rose 30 places in the World Bank's most recent Ease of Doing Business report. We can see the incentives and support. The incentives and supports are basically defined into 2 categories. We can see the financial and the physical support. We can see in the financial support, basically, the export credit financing guarantee insure provided by the Saudi export program, energy utility subsidies for power, water, natural gas, diesel and land. We can see loan programs for public and private industrial investments. And we can see also physical support, which is tax credit, tax exemption, and we can see also custom duty drawback. We can see now the reforms that took place in the economics realm. We can see there was a successful reform journey which enhanced the business environment for the private sector. The establishment of the National Competitive Center Taysir, which aimed to develop and enhance the kingdom's competitiveness environment and raise its ranking in global reports and indicators. And we can see also the committee was established to pursue 4 main objectives, which was to increase efficiency of government services, position Saudi Arabia among the top 20 countries globally for doing business. And we can see it was to implement regulations aimed at stimulating private sector growth and also increase private sector engagement with direct involvement in decision-making. We can see also the positive macroeconomic environment, and we can see also the developments in the business environment. There's been also progress in the foreign investment regulations. There was, for example, progress in the licensing regulation for foreign investment, physical elements related to foreign investment, and international trade agreements. Regarding the licensing regulation for foreign investment, we can see that the aim was to facilitate the entrance of investors into the country and license investors. We can see the minimum acceptability capital and a cap on foreign capital. We can see also that in the physical elements, it is the lowest compared with the G20 countries. And regarding the zakat applicable on local ownership, it is the lowest, set at 2.5. International trade agreements, as it is known that Saudi Arabia is a member of the WTO, with commitment to further liberalize trade and also to accelerate integration into the world economy. And also, in addition to the double taxation of income and capital with 29 countries, we can see that agreements aimed at promoting and protecting the investment of the entrepreneurs, with one contracting party, is with more than 23 countries. Now, this is a slide that shows the incentives to invest in Saudi Arabia. We can see that first, it's the first population growth rate for the next 5 years among the G20 countries. We can see that the share of investments to GDP is 25.88, and it's the sixth among the G20 countries. And it's the second largest GDP per capita in PPP terms in the purchasing power among the G20 countries. Another element would be that Saudi Arabia accounts of 48% of the GCC economy, and it's the 18th largest economy in the world, and also it's the second highest road connectivity indication worldwide, behind the US. We can see also the unique demographic situation in Saudi Arabia. You have the population, it's 59% of the GCC population. It's 14% of the Middle East population. And you have a very young population. 58% of the population are under 30 years old, against an average of 49.5. And you have a 6% workforce annual growth. And you have an idea of the fifth largest GDP per capita in the MENA region, and the GDP per capita as it can be seen. Another incentive would be the strategic location that Saudi Arabia holds. You have easy access to 3 continents within a few hours. You have, within 4 hours, you can visit more than 50 of the fastest growing markets. Within 6 hours, over 40% of the world's population, and within 7 hours, over half of the world's population. You can see that 13% of the global trade goes through the Red Sea. Also, you have an extensive interconnected logistic network. You have more than 10 ports, more than 29 airports, and more than 4,500 kilometers of railways. And you have more than 232,000 kilometers of roads. This is a map of Saudi Arabia and how interconnected the infrastructure and the logistics network is. And you have also more than 40 industrial cities and zones. Also, you have, for the Korean SMEs, you can see that you have world-class investment programs being taken place. You have the giga projects and you have the mega projects. You can see the giga projects like Gdia, the Red Sea, Neom, and you can see the mega projects like Jizan Economic City, like King Salman Park, and King Abdullah Financial District. Now I'll be looking at the role of Ministry of Investment. This was a new ministry that was part of the Ministry of Industry and Investment, but it has been now allocated to be an independent ministry. MISA basically helps you with the investment in three parts: before the setup, during the setup, and after the setup. It helps facilitate investments in all areas of the Saudi economy, and it's an expanding, and it helps expand an established multinational or launch a new venture. For example, pre-setup, they can help support business, case development, and studies. We can see also they provide tailored incentives. During setup, they connect with recruiting agencies, and after setup, they help overcome any obstacles that any businesses face. Also, MISA believes that even if we live in a digital world, even if we live in a very connected world, that still face-to-face interaction is very crucial. And that's why they established the idea of having offices overseas. We can see that these are the 9 offices that they've opened which aim to encourage the idea of face-to-face interaction. And also, as a final incentive, they helped set up an online portal for investors to commence their journey, which helps with facts and figures, helps the investor sectors, and also helps connect with sector heads, and it also provides the investment opportunities. Thank you for listening.